Really exciting times at the South Adelaide Basketball Club. You mentioned this before, 70th year anniversary and also a new stadium, Darcy. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so it's at Mitchell Park, so it's a state-of-the-art. We don't want to turn people away. We said, really come to this club. We don't want to turn players away, so this new state-of-the-art stadium, and it's just to really people feel that they can play in a magnificent stadium.
Well, the new general manager for the South Adelaide Basketball Club, Darcy Heavens, great to have you on Sports Legends with Bevo.
Bevo, how you going? What a pleasure to be here, mate. It's gee whiz, we've done a bit of media work together, and here I'm back with you, and looking forward to it.
Yeah, look at this studio. Hey, it's unbelievable.
It's sensational.
I think last time we were sitting in a pub at Portland Hotel, just nothing like this, that's for sure.
Yeah, I feel like a bit of open mic here, mate.
It's a little bit like
very
that,
relaxed couches and very good.
Yeah, it's really good. It's a great setup. Speaking of great things, let's speak about yourself, because you've got a great role as the new general manager of the South Adelaide Basketball Club. Must be pumped for a big 2022 with so much going on.
Oh, Bevo, absolutely. Look, it's just a perfect time to join the club. It's their 70th year, so obviously part of that we're trying to get a lot of the past players back to the club. So I hope for that. We've got a new stadium opening in June, so down at Mitchell Park there. So exciting times. Of course, we've got the coaches, which we'll talk about in a minute, and getting things forward. Looking forward to the adventure.
And yourself personally, you've been involved in sport for a long time as a player, and we'll get to the playing career a bit later on. But in terms of, being involved with the Eagles, doing really good things down there, that's the Woodville West Torrens Football Club, and also Flinders Park. Tell us a bit more about your background, Darcy, and sort of what, I guess, persuaded you to want to have a go at this new role.
No, absolutely, Bevo. So, yeah, Flinders Park Football Club, so anything, I was on the committee for 10 years, and anything from being the treasurer to looking after sponsors, getting more sponsors on board. Then I was on what was called the Metro West Junior Football League. So therefore you look after a number of clubs and you look after the umpires there, and I was on their board for about 5 years as well. And then, as you said, Bevo, 6 years on the Woodville West Torrens board just got off about 12 months ago. So thoroughly enjoyed my time there, but 6 years, it was time to just look at something else, and this fantastic opportunity came up and I jumped at it. So because of my involvement in sport, in anything from looking after the Finance and Audit Committee to looking after sponsors and looking after members, and so this is a great opportunity, great club. They've got a long, strong history, very successful, and I jumped at it.
Big change going from footy to basketball. I mentioned it before, you played a bit of basketball back in the day, but footy's been your main sort of background. Interesting to go from footy to basketball. How did you transition from that?
It's really a sporting organisation, Bevo, if that makes sense. So you're looking after, you've got some passionate members, as you would with football and basketball. You've got people that are, they've been involved in sport for a long time, and just, I'm looking after the finance and audit side, and I'm looking after the sponsors and members. So I'm looking after sort of more the commercial side of it. Yes, I've got to look after the other side as well, but it's because it's a sport, my passion is in sport and always has been. I'm just looking forward to the opportunity, and sport is sport. So very passionate people around, I'm looking forward to it.
And speaking about this off air, we had a bit of a chuckle before, because your basketball career, because we actually had a bit of common interest, I suppose, in that we both played footy, and I went and played a couple of games of mixed netball and was terrible at it. I kept on hurting my teammates in the opposition because I'd go for these intercept marks and things, and I think I was playing footy. It was a bit the same with you in your basketball career.
Yeah, it was. So obviously we played football during the winter, and we thought, well, what do we do during the summer? Because we had enough of playing, nothing against cricket, guys, I will not say that, but let's start a basketball side. So we got a basketball side together. I think, because you played football, you sort of play it incorrectly. You just go for the ball, it doesn't matter what's in your way. And unfortunately, after a few years, I think they said, oh, look, listen here, lads, I think it's probably inappropriate to keep playing the basketball. I thoroughly love basketball, and we still have fun games. I shoot the hoops across the road from where I live, and with some borders we've had, and I still enjoy it, absolutely.
You mentioned the border thing. I want to speak about that, because that's something we should really highlight about you, and hopefully that's another good thing that got you over the line with South Adelaide, because it's wonderful what you and your wife do. Just tell us a bit more about that, and whether the basketball side of things might include that now as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And absolutely, if we get any recruits from interstate. So the Woodville West Torrens Football Club, we obviously, especially during COVID, that we recruited a few people from other players from interstate. And we have a granny flat, self-contained granny flat at the back. It started with Sam Lonigan, who was the coach of the Eagles a few years ago, who made the move from Tasmania. And we had this room out there for a few weeks while he was transitioning to bring his family over and find a house. So then he sort of said, look, I've got a player from Tassie I'd love to have to come over. And so he jumps in the house he was. So he came over and stayed with us for a while. And then obviously he went back to play back in Tasmanian League. And then we had Sam Lonigan. We've had James Cheers, who was just recruited to the Gold Coast Suns. Also had Ryan Mansell, who's just been recruited to Richmond, and look, it's been a great time just to see these kids grow. And obviously the few, haven't forgotten anyone, I hope. No, I haven't. So to see a couple get recruited to AFL clubs, you know, it's probably, they say it's not nothing to do with me, it's about my wife's cooking. Karen's cooking so she's Italian, so she obviously cooks very well, and they've made them better players. But no, look, thoroughly enjoyed it, and look, I've said to the guys, if you recruit someone from interstate, they've got nowhere to stay, we've got this place out the back. We do anything for the club to make it successful.
That is wonderful, and with the success that you've had in terms of, like you mentioned before, these guys have gone to play AFL. Who knows? We could get some WNBL, NBL, NBA players in the future.
No, that's it. Yeah, but
no, that's terrific. And on a serious note, really exciting times at the South Adelaide Basketball Club. You mentioned this before, 70th year anniversary, and also a new stadium. Darcy, tell us about that.
Yeah, so it's at Mitchell Park. So it's a state of the art. You know, we've got the club rooms, or the stadium now is at Marion, down at the Marion Sports Complex. Look, they are tied, but you know they've done a fantastic job, you know, for the years that's been there. But we realise we need a state of the art to attract players, and we need more players. You know, we don't want to turn people away. We said, you know, really come to this club. We don't want to turn players away. So this new state of the art stadium, and it's just to really people feel that they can play in a magnificent stadium.
2022 got some, you know, big recruits, not only yourself included, but also Scott Ninnis is back at the club. You know, played his juniors and then went on to be a championship player with the Adelaide 36ers, coach the 36ers. That's a huge pickup for the club.
Oh, Bevo, that is just class getting Scott Ninnis back. You know, as you just said that he's a junior at the club, so it's not if we recruited someone outside the club, so he's coming back to the club, and look, he can attract players, I'm sure he can, you know, with his knowledge, and what he can do as a mentor to the other coaches as well, which is fantastic. We're really looking forward to Scott getting on board and doing what we believe he can. So as you said, he's coached the 36ers, played for the 36ers, so it's exciting times for the NBL1 men's.
And in terms of the men's, they've lost Alex Madroni, which is a real shame. Obviously played 36ers basketball there. He's gone to Queensland now to play, but they have picked up Jeremy Smith, who's a big unit from the UK. That's huge for them, and they've kept one of the best players in the NBL1, in my opinion, Alex Starling. Plus, one of their crowd favourites in Jared Hoppo as well. So
they call Jared the Pied Piper, believe it or not. I think that he's a true character, and he's a crowd favourite, and the kids love him because he's so good with the kids in the basketball. He tracks the kids, and it's fantastic to have him around back at the club. So. But look, as you said about Jeremy Smith, I think you're Rain Man, mate. You're just off the top of your head. That's great. But yeah, he was second in the World Cup medal in 2015. So, and look, he's come back. He's played for Qatar. He's played at Vietnam. He's played in the UK. So he's got this experience, and to come back, it's just class to have him back. It's awesome.
And in terms of the women's program, really good as well to get Jay Johnson to the club, who's played in the US college ball for third as well, and Richard Dickles again involved, who's been previously involved with the New Zealand Basketball Club, and one of the biggest, I think, re-signings is talking about stars of the competition. I think one of the best players in the top three, in my opinion, was very close to winning the women's best and fairest last year, and that's Olivia Levicki or Nee Thompson.
Yes,
OT.
She won the Halls medal as well, so within a couple of times. So that just shows her ability as well. It's great to have her back as well. So
yeah. And Richard Dickle, I mentioned, you know, having been involved in the New Zealand program before, that's huge for the club for him to stick around too.
Absolutely, it is, Bevo. And look, also, like as you know, he was assistant coach at 36 as well, and he also coached the Adelaide Lightning as well. So the experience he's got with not basketball for the women's side as well. So it's just great to have him on board as well. And they finished third last year, the NBL1 women's.
Exactly.
So we hope he can go a couple better. But it's great to have him on board.
And some of the other women that they've been able to keep as well, really good. Spencer Stewart, and speaking of New Zealand, ex-New Zealand player herself, Jordan Hunter.
Yes.
The combination between her and Olivia Levicki was just unbelievable last year. So for them to go again for another season is exciting too.
Yeah, I think if you just look at the calibre we've got and the calibre we're bringing on board, we only lost the one player on the men's side. So look, it's exciting times, and with everything that's happening with the new stadium, what a year it's going to be, Bevo. So it's absolutely
exciting for you to get involved.
Absolutely. So
yeah. Speaking of the women's for the NBL1 this year for South Adelaide, we spoke about the players and, you know, keeping some really good players from last season and the new recruit Jay Johnson as well. But you've got some really good news in terms of the coaching side of things, Darcy.
Yeah, we have, apart from obviously Richard Dickle that we mentioned before, we've also got John Turnbull, who was the NB1 women's coach last year. He's now our assistant coach here at South Adelaide. So that's a huge pickup for us, and I think the experience that he can give, as well as with Richard, I think coming third last year, I think we can certainly go that couple better as well.
And in terms of basketball itself, we spoke about this earlier on off air. 1,000 players at the club, you know, that's just phenomenal to see the growth of basketball, you know, at the South Adelaide Basketball Club, not only from the juniors but all the way up.
It's actually nearly 1,200, Bevo, so I think it's over 1,200. So, but you've got to thank the existing executive in the committee. They've done such an amazing job over the years. It has grown 20% over the last number of years. So the job they've done has just been amazing. And I think there's only a certain level that because the committee and the executives, they've got full-time roles, they run businesses, so they've, the kids play there as well. So, their time to go to that next level is pretty tough, and you all get that. So we've got to thank them for getting to where we are. So to go to that next level, Bev, I think that's where, so that we need a resource. So that's why I said, look, a general manager needs to consolidate everything and just take that next level to make it a lot more professional. It's very professional now, but just to get that, make sure it's in line and to run smoothly. The committee and the executives, they run their own businesses. They've got full-time jobs. They've got kids that play at the club as well. They're limited on time, what else they can do in the club. So when you get to a certain level, they need to take it further. They need other resources. That's where I've come on board to hopefully take that next level and keep that momentum going that the executive and the committee have done. So that's what I'm here for, and hopefully we can take that to the next level, Bevo.
And in terms of being a general manager, not only are you the new general manager, but you're also the inaugural.
Exactly, exciting times as well.
Exactly, so that just shows the growth of the club and the growth of basketball, because there's also an inaugural general manager at North Adelaide now too.
Yeah, it does show that they are very serious in taking to that level, Bevo. Because obviously with the new stadium, as I said before, and they are very serious about taking that profession to the next level. And they need the resources. We've got the volunteers of the club. They're the backbone of the club. They're really serious about taking that next level of professionalism, and that's what I'm hoping to bring that to the club and take it and move forward.
Yeah, and the basketball itself, I'm involved, lucky enough, as an NBL1 commentator. I started last year.
Yes, and congratulations with that.
Oh, thank you. And it's just a wonderful competition, and it really is the calibre of the players. You're getting guys like I mentioned before, Alex Madronia from the Adelaide 36ers. We've had Alex Starling, who's been involved in the competition a long time. CJ Turnage, who's unfortunately left the competition, but he's been a star of the NBL1 for a number of years. So many guys, come and go. Brendan Tees played for Forestfield a couple of years ago. So you're getting a lot of guys that are coming from the NBL or coming. Anthony Green was from US College. A lot of these guys that just come and play in the NBL1, either to advance their careers or maybe they've been overseas or interstate and they're in their last phase of their careers. The talent is just phenomenal.
It's an amazing competition.
It really is.
It's just not, as well as bringing me on board to take to that next level, Bevo, but I think we'll see probably more of that in the future, because as you said, the talent that's coming into play, the Adelaide competition, the NBL1s, is just amazing. And I think we'll see the growth that we had, the 20%, maybe other clubs have done the same. I think we'll see that year on year, and we'll see a lot more, it's professional now, but a lot more professional moving forward with these players coming in. I think it's going to be exciting times ahead.
Well, in fact, as you speak about that, there's going to be one game this year, one game a week on KO for the NBL1 women's and men's, which is just terrific. And in terms of growth of the competition, that's just an unbelievable result.
Well, when you see yourself commentating it, you see on KO, that just shows that they are seriously about promoting the sport at the same time. Because
exactly.
I don't think we've seen as much, probably 5 years ago, there's probably very little, if any. Now we're seeing, as you said, KO, you're commentating it, we've got other people commentating it. And I think that's going to improve the sport immensely over the next years. Just get promotion out there, and kids will see it as well. They say, gee, what a great sport this is. And Sky Channel now, you see a lot of the NBL in America on Sky. How good's this? And kids want to play basketball here as well.
Basketball's gone to another level for sure. And you're seeing with the NBL as well. I know we'll speak about the NBL1, but guys like Josh Giddey, these sort of blokes that have gone on to play at the NBA, and it all starts at the NBL1 too. So it's just, basketball is just going to a whole new level. And I think the success of the Boomers probably last year at the Olympics had a bit to do with that too, winning their first ever medal. So no, it's very exciting times, Darcy. I should have mentioned it previously as well. Majority of the players in this year's WNBL Adelaide Lightning squad, even though they lost unfortunately in their final the other day, in their elimination final, a lot of the players are actually from the NBL1. In the women's squad, which just shows the calibre of the competition. So.
And that's another thing we're hoping too, Bevo, is that, obviously, with the juniors, they start the juniors, there are the mini Panthers, they're called, the 5 or 6 year old, but we want those kids to stay so long. And when, if we put a lot of work into them, they do go on to play for those sort of, teams, and then they stay in Adelaide rather than going off into state or somewhere. So if we can keep those sort of the calibre here in Adelaide, perfect for our competition at the same time.
Before we let you go as well, Darcy, I can't leave without mentioning a couple of the major sponsors for this great club too.
Yep. And I think, Bevo sponsors are very hard to get at the moment. And we thank you, the sponsors. They are just amazing. So we've got naming rights sponsor is Sports Car World. And then we've got a team sponsor name for the women's is My Plan Manager. They're an NDIS management plan. So the sponsors, we've got, thank you very much. Very hard to get, but we cannot thank you enough for them.
Well, they're always welcome to sponsor Legends of Bevo too.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Good chance to promote themselves.
Yeah. No, absolutely, Bevo. Thank you for that, and we'll catch you during the year maybe.
Yeah, look forward to it.